Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. It's a price shock many Tasmanians won't want to hear. Our water bills are set to skyrocket by 40% over the next 4 years. The proposed hike is being slammed by the community, but TasWater says it has no choice.
Another blow to the household budget. Water bills are set to soar.
I just don't know how much more I can afford.
It's going to destroy the population even more. It's going to make everyone more stressed.
It's a struggle getting by week to week.
TasWater are dropping a new price plan, slugging the average household an extra $522 by 2030.
These price increases won't be popular, but they are the right thing to do for Tasmania now and into the future.
It says the hike is needed to cover costs to fix ageing infrastructure, earmarking $1.7 billion to do so.
Our sewage network is in terrible shape. Only 9% of our sewage treatment plants are fully compliant.
The proposal met with stiff opposition, another hit in the cost of living crisis.
This will come as a real blow to those Tasmanians who are really struggling to make ends meet.
While there's concern about the flow-on effects, TasWater says turning off the tap could lower costs.
Decreasing the cost of the fixed component of the bill, so if you use less water, you'll pay less.
Also splashing cash at its help program.
Tune of $2.4 million over 4 years to make sure no Tasmanians left behind.
There's still some time before the hike sets in. The proposal is now in the hands of the economic regulator. It has 12 months to consider the deal and has the power to accept it as is or force TasWater back to the drawing board.
They need to understand that this has a flow-on effect to Tasmanians themselves. But
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor leader Dean Winter is resisting calls to concede, confirming he has spoken with key crossbenchers. But he's still giving Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe the first go at forming government, while 3 independents say they're not rushing into negotiations on who they will support.
Keeping the lines of communication open.
Testing 1, 2, 3, testing.
Dean Winter making his first media appearance in days, confirming he's spoken with the Greens after they reached out to him and independent David O'Byrne for the first time in 4 years.
I've had some really constructive conversations with Mr O'Byrne. He and I share similar values.
Regardless of the history between Dean and I, my focus in my conversation with him was getting to understand how he's going to make Parliament work.
As the Labor leader tries to clear a path to form government if the Premier can't, insisting...
I've said I won't do any deals with the Greens repeatedly during this.
But the Liberals are accusing him of breaking his word if he does make an agreement with the minor party.
He can only be in government with a deal with the Greens.
If he's got an arrangement and an agreement with the Greens, then that is a deal.
O'Byrne recalls the challenges he saw working in a former Labor Greens government in a 25-seat parliament more than a decade ago.
Every day you walked on the floor of Parliament, you were fearful it could be your last.
Saying making it work this time around won't be any easier.
Trying to make it work with 10 members in 35 is going to be very difficult.
Winter insists the salmon farming, forestry and mining industries have his party's backing, which are sectors the Greens want transitioned into sustainable alternatives.
We're not going to sacrifice those things we believe in to get to government. We want to make sure that Tasmania has a strong future economically, and that includes those important traditional industries.
Some analysts say the back and forth is to be expected.
We're still in the midst of this political phony war of people positioning themselves for the return to Parliament and staking out positions.
With conversations underway, independents Craig Garland, Christy Johnston and Peter George say they won't be doing talks until after the election results are confirmed, and that good faith and trust are key for the sustainability of any power sharing agreement. As to what those agreements look like and with who, only time will tell. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
A 61-year-old woman has been charged with arson over a unit fire in Ravenswood yesterday. Emergency services responded to the blaze on Waring Street mid-morning, but the flames quickly spread, destroying the property. An investigation later determined the fire had been deliberately started. The woman from Ravenswood will face Launceston Magistrates Court in September. A new social media campaign encouraging Tasmanians to identify suspected shoplifters is already claiming success. The Know Them, Name Them has tracked down 15 offenders statewide 9 weeks after its launch.
$9 billion. That's the amount Australian businesses are estimated to lose through retail crime every year. It's a figure Crime Stoppers and Tasmania Police are trying to curb with their Know Them, Name Them campaign, harnessing the power of social media to ensure justice is served.
Name them, tell us who they are, give us the best chance at investigating these crimes so that we can bring about proper outcomes and hold those people to account.
Since May, Crime Stoppers has posted images of suspects to Facebook, asking members of the public to help track them down. 15 out of 24 shoplifters have been identified so far, up from 11 earlier this month. While stolen items vary, automotive goods and power tools are most commonly targeted.
They'll sometimes just walk out with a trolley full, and there's very little the staff can actually do to stop them because they don't have the police powers to do so.
And we're not just talking about petty theft here. The average Bunnings outlet in Tasmania loses between $2,000 and $4,000 every day due to shoplifting. Along with targeting repeat offenders, the campaign doubles as a warning to those considering a life of crime.
What we need to do is be able to say, I don't believe in that person doing that. I want to be able to tell somebody, and Crime Stoppers is the way to go.
Aaron Smith, 7 Tasmania News.
The Cancer Clinical Trials Unit at the Royal Hobart Hospital is facing major cuts, sparking fears patients could lose access to life-saving treatment. With cases on the rise, there are growing concerns Tasmania will fall further behind in specialist care.
It's a vital unit working at the front line of cancer care and cutting-edge research. But now its future hangs in the balance with a proposal to slash staffing by nearly 60%.
This is a devastating blow for not only our members but importantly for the Tasmanian community, for those that are affected by cancer, their families, and also those that potentially will be affected in the future.
Currently 15 highly trained staff work in the clinical trial unit, including nurse specialist and research officers. And with more and more Tasmanians hearing the words, "You have cancer," cuts to services couldn't have come at a worse time.
It provides an opportunity for people to get the best quality care that they can here at home and obviously reduce the impact of their cancer treatment.
In correspondence obtained by 7 Tasmania News, the Department of Health blames costs, telling staff the current clinical trial unit environment requires staffing and operational modifications to match the reduction in trial workload. Nurses at the Royal Hobart Hospital say cutting more than half the staff from the trials unit isn't just short-sighted, it's dangerous. They warn it could strip Tasmanians of access to life-saving cancer treatments now and into the future.
Highly likely that there will be some Tasmanians, as there already are, looking interstate and overseas for assistance with chemotherapy and treatments that will extend their life or cure them.
And it is an area of excellence and highly specialised workforce. To find that that's now going to be cut is really demoralising.
The Health Department says it remains committed to working constructively with employees to address their concerns. Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Despite hundreds of thousands of years since humans' discovery of fire, its environmental impacts are yet to be fully understood. But a new research facility in Tasmania has ignited groundbreaking studies for the field, including research into the effects of air pollution on our health.
It's not just a first for the state, but the entire Southern Hemisphere. Fire Lab 3, the latest effort from the University of Tasmania, is already lighting up its Sandy Bay campus. The 3 nested laboratories allowing researchers to study both the positive and negative impacts of fire on the landscape.
It's a world-class facility, there's no question about that, and it's going to have, I think, quite a long life and a big impact.
The site has capacity to look into a wide variety of subjects, including plant flammability, bushfires and smoke emissions. That's alongside research on types of fuel to find what's best for the safety of firefighters or the quality of a wine crop.
They're going to have a benefit of cheaper energy, they're going to have better health through winter, they're going to have better safety from bushfires during the summer.
Long term, The international project is expected to find ways to heat homes at a fraction of the cost, both financially and environmentally.
The current standard in Australia really isn't adequate for getting down to low emission levels.
And when it comes to health, studies will contribute to reduce effects that are felt unevenly across communities.
It's older people, people with chronic illnesses, people who are vulnerable that suffer from bushfire smoke.
Aaron Smith, 7 Tasmania News.
Despite producing one of the greatest goals the Australia Cup has ever seen, South Hobart has bowed out in the first round of the competition. The home side put on an impressive display to keep South Melbourne at bay before star midfielder Kobe Kemp opened the scoring with an absolute stunner.
Oh! Kobe Kemp with a spectacular bicycle kick, and the magic of the cup is alive and well in Tasmania.
But the jubilation was short-lived, the visitors clapping back just minutes later, gaining their final 2-1 lead just before half-time. An undefeated North Launceston will be without one of their star players for their top-of-the-table clash against Launceston this weekend. Brad Cox-Goodyer has been slapped with a 2-game suspension, leaving a major hole in their forward line.
He's obviously been a mainstay at the club for feels like 4 decades, but yeah, just having a different mix forward might help as well, get a few boys some more opportunity.
After thumping the Bombers 112-0 the last time they met, the Launceston women are expecting a stronger contest.
Expect them to come out stronger than last time. You know, they put a lot of effort obviously into their trainings and structures.
The Crosstown Derby is at UTAS Stadium on Saturday. Well, the final spot in the grand final is on the line in the TNL this weekend. After an unexpected loss last week, Kingston is using that fire to push the Northern Hawks all the way.
Know what we can do. We've done it all year. The girls are really connected, which I think is the strength of ours.
Whoever wins this weekend will face the Cavaliers in the decider. A loss last weekend, combined with other results not falling their way, has left the Chargers men facing a do-or-die clash against Sandringham this Saturday night. It's a team they managed to beat earlier this season, but this time the stakes are much higher after the team only just scraped into finals.
We're lucky to come in at the 8th spot in the end, but we feel like we could have been top 4 or higher. We've shown against every team that's in the finals in this final 8 that we can take it to them.
But they'll have to do it without the backing of a home crowd. Their position on the ladder means Tassie will miss out on hosting a final this year. And there's a mix of fresh and familiar faces back in Jack Jumpers camp, including big man Will Magnay, fresh off a stint with the NBA Summer League. He was on the brink of a 2-way deal in the US, but it wasn't to be. Good news for the Jackies, though, as they ramp up preparations for the new season.
He's back on Tassie's soil after a big stint in Vegas with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Summer League opportunity gave Jack Jumpers' big man Will Magnay a chance to impress on the NBA stage.
They enjoyed having me around, they enjoyed me as a person, and yeah, they'll be watching for the future. That's pretty much essentially what I got.
But in the end, the 27-year-old just missed out on an NBA roster spot.
Ultimately, they went with someone just probably a bit younger, which is, you know, that's sport. You know, you're always competing against someone.
Now Magnay returns to a refreshed Jack Jumpers squad, taking part in a pre-season mini-camp before heading off to play for the Boomers in the FIBA Asia Cup. Among his new teammates, guard Nick Marshall, who's already settling in on the Apple Isle.
My role will kind of depend what the team needs. Like on any night, it'll be different. Everyone can kind of step up.
And with fresh talent comes a tweak in tactics.
Our offensive system will change a little bit around skill set, but the first 3 days here at camp has been very stripped back to basics.
The full squad hits the floor for the official start of pre-season next month as the Jackies eagerly await a return to the Fortress.
We're all passionate to get back to My State Bank Arena. If we can play 33 home games, we'd be happy about that.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
And we all can't wait to see them back in action, can't we, Kim?
The season is getting close. Thank you, Vic. Well, Peter Murphy will join us after the break with the weather forecast.
Good evening. Hobart and Launceston 13 today. Devonport and Burnie reached 14 degrees, just one below our top of 15 on King Island. Temperatures on or slightly above average. Ouse 14. All the other centres registered 12 or 13, apart from Lyowini where it reached 7 degrees. Low cloud over the west and sunny conditions over most of Tasmania for most of the day. There was a drop of rain though. King Island recorded 5 millimetres to 4 p.m. Cloud with the front is over Western and South Australia. Low cloud pushed over northern Queensland and the Territory. Tomorrow the high squeezes up over the east as that complex front and low head across the Bight, ahead of another large high over WA. The winds west-northwesterly, that's early in the day. They'll reach 20 knots over the west ahead of a northeasterly change at similar speeds in the afternoon. A strong wind warning has been posted for waters from Sandy Cape to Stanley and from Flinders Island to St Helens Point. And sheep graziers, you can rest a bit easier tonight. But just for tonight though. Forecast for tomorrow. Partly cloudy and 14 in Hobart. Maybe a late shower for Huonville. A cold start, -1 to 15. 15 the top for Campania. Launceston, a high of 15 after a frosty start. 13 for Devonport with showers on the way and increasing. Same sort of deal for Georgetown. Burnie showers increasing. 13. 14 with the showers Strawn and showers over Wynyard. 1 overnight. 13 the maximum. 15 for St Helens with a late shower. Same sort of thing for Swansea and 13 the top for Port Arthur. On Saturday, showers tending to rain over the north and east, easing late evening. Showers over the north on Sunday, extending southwards in the afternoon. And on Monday, 50-50 chance of a shower in the south as they centre mainly over the north of the state. Partly cloudy and 16 in Perth. Rain for Adelaide and showers increasing over Melbourne. Both cities expecting 13. -6 in Canberra before a high of 14, but sunny weather for Sydney and Brisbane. And conditions at the moment clear right around the state. Sorry about the presentation tonight, Kim, but I went to the dentist today and it hasn't worn off. I've been dribbling my beer all afternoon.
Giving away your secrets there. Thank you, Murph. See you tomorrow.